What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for joining me today. Today we're gonna do some smoked salmon, some cedar plank smoked salmon on the pit barrel cooker. We're gonna top it with the apricot glaze. This is gonna be good. Let's get started. All right, so what I have here is a center cut piece of salmon. It's a fresh Atlantic cut of salmon, and it's slightly over 1 pound. I made a brine. We're gonna dry brine this. And it's just a 2-to-1 mix of brown sugar, light brown sugar, and kosher salt. 2-to-1, 2 being the brown sugar and 1 part being the kosher salt. And I'm gonna just take this and just dump it right over the salmon. Might have made a little too much, but that's all right. Just give it a nice coating. And then from here, we're just gonna throw it in the fridge. And I'm gonna let it sit in there for probably about 4 hours. And what's gonna happen here is just caramelize and sweat out. And as it does, it's gonna pull out some of that moisture to kind of help make this piece of salmon more flaky, but it's still gonna be really moist. Also, the brown sugar is gonna add a hint of sweetness that I like on my salmon. So I'll show you what this looks like in about 4 hours once we pull it out of the fridge. All right, you guys, this is the salmon. I just put it out of the fridge. As you can see, it's kind of liquefied there. And I'll probably put more brown sugar and salt than I needed to. That's why you can see, like right here, some of this still hadn't melted out or, you know, kind of dissolved. I probably put more than I needed to. But this would have, I mean, that's not going to be a problem at all. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to take this, I'm going to rinse it under the sink just to rinse off that salt and brown sugar. I'm going to pat it dry, and then we're going to season it up and get it ready for the pit. I got my pit barrel firing up right now, and we'll get this on the cedar plank in just a second. But let me get this rinsed off. All right, so this is a salmon. I just rinsed it off under the sink. I just, you know, under tap water, rinse it off. So it has the skin on, as you can see. I rinsed it off under the water and then took a paper towel and kind of patted it down. So this is what it's looking like now. I'm going to season this with the only rub that I will use on seafood and most stuff. It's Incredible from Heaven Made Products. Look, you can tell, see how worn out this container is? We use this so much that this container is so worn out. But this is It's Incredible from Heaven Made Products. Without a doubt, our #1 favorite rub seasoning in my household. Right here. We absolutely love this stuff. It's great on everything. Pork, beef, chicken, fish, veggies, any sides that we do. In fact, I'm going to use it on some sides, on our side today. So I'm just going to take that, or take this. Just give this salmon a good coating. God, it smells so good. This is gonna be good, you guys. We're gonna let this set for a bit. Again, I still have the pit barrel firing up, and once we get this outside, I'll show you what what the setup looks like. And again, oh, really quickly, 1 second. So I do have a cedar plank here that I've been soaking in water. I just put it in one of these bins here. I put something on top to kind of hold it down to submerge it. And this has actually been soaking for, I don't know, a couple of hours. Probably about 2 to 3 hours. But really, I mean, you only really need to let it go for at least 30 minutes, you know, if you're short on time. I had extra time, so I went ahead and just dropped it in here and left it. So I'm going to take this out, dump out this water. We'll get that salmon on here, and we're going to take this and place this on the pit barrel cooker. All right, so with this salmon, the side that we're going to make is some asparagus. And I got to tell you, I wasn't a huge fan of asparagus, but the way that my wife makes it, I really like it. So we're going to show you what that looks like. And what she's doing here is just breaking off the bottom. And if you haven't cooked asparagus, once you grab a stalk, go ahead and You get rid of that one. But so when you grab a stock and you start to bend the bottom, there's the bottom part you want to cut off. But to know how far to cut it off, really all you have to do is just hold one end, hold the bottom end, and when you break it, it's going to break right where it needs to cut off. Usually it's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches up from the bottom, but we do this quite often that we don't need to measure it. We know that if you just grab it like the whitefish here, breaking the bottom off, it's going to break right where it needs to break. So just going to do that. We're going to get these ready, and this is going to be the side that we're going to have with the asparagus. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't tried grilled asparagus, or if you have tried asparagus but you haven't tried this recipe, you're going to want to try it. It's really, really good. So we just have one whole stock here that she's just breaking off the bottom. We'll get in the pan, put some butter in there. Do you put oil?
I do butter only. I don't do oil.
Butter. She just does butter. It's so damn good, you guys. So yeah, throw that in there. We'll get rid of that. You need the extra virgin olive oil?
Nope, I do butter.
Oh, that's right. She does butter. We used to do the extra virgin olive oil. So she'll just take some butter, and what are you gonna do with the butter? You gonna melt it or what?
No,
or you just
I
put it in the
normally
pan?
just put it in the pan.
Yeah,
I
but
let
then
it
how do you
melt.
season these?
You season the asparagus when I put the butter in the pan. I put a little bit of It's Incredible, and
So
then
you don't put oil on these at all?
no.
Okay.
Or if you want to, you can get your hands dirty and put butter on these, mix them all up, and then put the It's Incredible. It's up to you.
All right, we're gonna let the missus do it the way she does. So we have some butter here that she's gonna put in a pan.
Where's my pan?
Down here. So she'll get that going. We'll drop some butter in there. We'll get the asparagus in here, and then once it's in here, then we'll season it.
Yes.
That's right. She's got some butter in the pan that's melted. Gonna take the asparagus. Get it in there, get it mixed up really good. You have this on medium heat or what?
Yeah, medium heat.
To start with, and then you'll turn it down.
I just want to get the butter melted. Then I want to get these all seasoned up while the butter's still sticking to it.
So that's the It's Incredible seasoning that she's using on these asparagus. I'm telling you guys that It's Incredible on veggies, on anything, is just
Super good.
just super good. You guys, if you haven't tried it, you really,
You
really
need
need
to.
to try it. And you can find it at heavenmadeproducts.com. I'll leave a link to their website below. Listen, this is without a doubt our #1 favorite seasoning in this house. We go through it a ton. We use it on literally
Everything.
everything. Eggs, potatoes, mashed potatoes, beef, chicken, pork.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Almost knocked over her dang pan. And here it is. I'm going to show, I think I have another bottle. This label's all worn out, as you can tell, because we use it so much. And we just take, when we get some new It's Incredible, we just dump it in here. And that's why this label is so worn out, because, you know, just from grabbing it so much. But great, great stuff. Again, you can find it at heavenmadeproducts.com. And if you haven't tried it, you need to get your hands on it. I'm telling you guys, you will not be disappointed.
Nope.
So we're just going to let these saute down until they're, you know, tender.
There they go.
Probably take, I don't know, what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so. And while this is going, we're going to get the salmon on. I got the pit barrel here. Got the chimney going here. And what I'm going to do is, since this does not take long to cook, fish does not take long to cook, I've simply taken one whole chimney of charcoal. I'm going to dump that in the basket. I am going to drop a few cherry chipwoods in here just for a little smoke. We'll get that in here and get it going. I don't know what temp we're going to cook at. Again, I'm only using one chimney of charcoal for this. It will not take long. So instead of filling up a whole basket here, one chimney should get the job done. So we're gonna get this lid up, dump it in here. I'm gonna drop some cherry wood chips in here, and then we'll get that into the pit barrel cooker and get this salmon cooked. So here's another container of the It's Incredible. And we get these big containers when we order them, and we dump it in the smaller one just because it's easier to handle. But this is what it looks like. Again, if you want to order these, you can find them right there, heavenmadeproducts.com. Listen, they have some great rubs. If you're looking for a beef rub, a pork rub, a fajita rub, whatever you're looking for, a Cajun rub, these Heaven Made products are without a doubt some of our most favorite products. Now, I don't get paid for, recommending these. I speak highly of them because I absolutely love them. And I love to share, anything that's good that I enjoy, I like to share with others. And It's Incredible. I'm telling you guys, I mean, it's, again, without a doubt, our most favorite rub. And if you followed me for any time, I know I have a lot of new subscribers, but those of you who have been following me for a while, you can attest that I use these often. I absolutely love them. I absolutely recommend them. So again, if you want to try these, and this one, if anything, you need to get your hands on the It's Incredible. I'm telling you guys, heavenmadeproducts.com. You won't be disappointed. So the asparagus, they're cooking down, as you can see. They're getting tender.
Of course, the skinnier ones get done a little bit faster than the thicker ones.
Yeah, in fact, the batch, when I went today, the batches were like, most of them are all really, really thin.
Really?
I don't like to buy the thin ones because they just cook so quick, and I like to buy the thicker ones, let them, cook down. They just taste better, in my opinion. But
I don't like my asparagus soggy. I kind of like it kind of crispy too. So
yeah, so this is what the asparagus looks like, and again, we're just going to cook these down for about 10-15 minutes until they're nice and tender, and they're going to be ready to go. They're so damn good, you guys. I'm telling you, so damn good. All right, so I just got the salmon on the pit barrel. I did drop some cherry wood chips down in the bottom. I did not soak them because I want them to burn fairly quickly. That's why we're seeing a lot of smoke right now. I just want to kiss this, or hit the salmon with some smoke as quick as possible. So I'm gonna get this lid on, get the smoke kind of tamed down a little bit. But I did drop some cherry wood chips in here that were not smoked. So let's get this lid on, let it cook, and then we're gonna make a glaze for this salmon. We got the asparagus is done here. We got the salmon on. Now we're gonna make an apricot glaze for the salmon. So we have some apricot preserve here. We're just taking one big teaspoon or tablespoon.
That's it. We want more.
Let's just run with that for now.
Okay.
We might have to add a little bit more, but it's not a tablespoon. We just took a spoon and just put a big old chunk in there. Now the amount that you're going to use is going to depend on how much salmon that you're cooking. But we're going to let this kind of simmer down just a bit. And we want to get this to a form where we can glaze the salmon. So we're just going to kind of let this melt down just a bit. And then we're going to add a little bit of water to it. So we're going to add a little bit of water, a little bit at a time.
There we go.
And just whisk this up until it gets to a liquid form where we can glaze the salmon. So anytime you're doing a glaze like that, if you're going to use a preserve, it's just a matter of using whatever preserve you like. Again, we're going with apricot and adding just a little bit of water to it. And we'll just mix this up until we're happy with the consistency of a nice little glaze. We may need to add a little more apricot preserve, But we'll see what it looks like once this breaks down. All right, so this glaze, I think, has gotten to the consistency that I'm happy with. Take a look at it real quick. I think once it cools down, I think we'll be good. So again, you just want to make it until, you know, all that preserve is kind of broken up and melted down. So I think this is good. So we're gonna cut this off. We're gonna let this sit for a bit until the salmon gets done. In fact, we're gonna cook the salmon to 145 degrees, and the last 10 degrees, so once it hits 135, I'm gonna take this glaze the salmon, let it go for another 10 degrees, and then it'll be done. I'm gonna use my thermopan to check the internal temp of the salmon, but I think this, oh yeah, I think this is good. So we're gonna let it cool down a bit. Probably thicken up just a tad, and then we'll get on the salmon again once it's about 10 degrees from being done. Guys, this salmon is done. So it got dark outside, so I didn't film me glazing it, but it got to about 145, 147. So I pulled it off and I just glazed it with this apricot glaze. This is what it's looking like here on the cedar plank. So we're gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna have half. The missus is gonna have the other half. We'll plate it up with that asparagus that you saw us cooking, and it should be yum. But this is what it's looking like right now. It's got some nice color, nice glaze. It's gonna be good. All right, you guys, so here's the salmon. Cut it in half. Got half for me, half for the missus. We got the asparagus. We're gonna give it a taste, see what it tastes like. But let's do this real quick and kind of break it apart, see what happens. Oh yeah, that's flaky. You can see that there. You can tell that it's still moist. That's gonna be good. I'm gonna take a piece of this and we're gonna give it a taste, you guys. Yum. All right, so I got some of the salmon here. We're gonna give it a shot and see how it tastes.
It's so good.
You know this is. Good gosh almighty.
I could eat salmon every day. I love salmon. That's so good.
I don't even know what to say.
It's good.
I'm at a loss for words. Good gosh almighty.
So good.
That's good. That is really, really good. We do salmon. Well, it's been a while since we've done salmon.
It has been. I love salmon.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've done a salmon video. And I got to tell you, damn it, this salmon is so good. I'm going to try some of the asparagus here. Asparagus is good. Good gosh almighty. I'm telling you guys. Damn good. The salmon is amazing. That asparagus is amazing. Together, I'm at a loss for words. It's good. You guys definitely need to try this recipe. If you love salmon, you need to try this recipe. I'm telling you guys. And if you love asparagus and you're looking for a new way to cook it, listen. If you tried this asparagus recipe, I will guarantee you anything. You're gonna message me and tell me how much you love it. It's good. It is really good. It's been a while since I cooked a dish that was just like you know, mind-blowing good. This is good. We're going to finish eating. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see. And listen, I hope you guys give it a try. Again, the seasoning, It's Incredible. You can find it at heavenmadeproducts.com. I will leave a link below. Again, I don't get a kickback or anything. I just absolutely love the product. Many of you who have been following me for a while know that. If you're new to my channel and you're looking for an amazing rub that you can use around the house on anything, It's Incredible. Again, I will leave a link below to the website where you can get some. It's good. It's really, really good. We're going to eat. I will see you guys next time. Take care.